Do you want to get away?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Welcome. Is this my job now? Am I the intro person, or am I just the person that talks first?
You're a person
that talks a lot. This is the Could Be Better podcast, brought to you in part by Texas Roadhouse. We are so excited to get to our guests that we are showing for people that are tuning into live. But actually, I'm not going to tell people that are listening. Check out our YouTube channel, for Christ's sake. Colin's wearing nothing. Anyway, so this podcast is brought to you in part by Texas Roadhouse. Colin, you were just at Texas Roadhouse recently. What did you get, and how great was it?
So here is something that we should definitely talk about.
We still have to pay some more bills, so just give me a quick thing, and we'll come back to it.
Quick thing. I went to get a salad. I wanted a salad, and I went to get a salad, and I got a salad. I have never known. I actually thought that this was not a thing, but it was a thing. I have never signed up for the Texas Roadhouse points.
Again, pause. Shocking for anybody that knows this man.
Yes, very
because
true.
The point system. Do you have a folder on your phone of just fast food?
Points? Yes,
just point stuff. Okay, continue.
And so turns out I just gave him my email address, and I get a free appetizer. So if you see this between now and January 24th, wait a second. That's not going to happen.
It was a great time, January 24th.
But I get a free bloomin' onion at Texas Roadhouse, so I'm pretty.
They have blooming onions at Texas Roadhouse.
It's their version of it, which is not as good.
Of course not.
But I love you because
thank you so much.
Yes,
it is better than the Outback Steakhouse a blooming onion. But what is it called?
Flamin' onion or something.
Yeah, that's great.
It's called the Could Be Better onion. So
you
got to pay the bills.
No, I got to pay the bills. So the other thing. So Colin, what's my biggest beef for you? Because I always want to say, I call you all the time, and I say, hey, Colin, you want to hang out? I say, you want to go get a beer at Old Mother? And you're like, no, dude, I don't like beer. And I go, well, that's funny because they're a podcast, and you said you loved beer on the podcast. And you go, well, I'm a liar. And so now, again, 10 minutes later, after you get upset, as we're trying to save our sponsorship with Old Mother Beer, which, by the way, this is their Smash Burgers in Paradise Double IPA, which now Smash Burger, or 50/50 Burger, is now in the brewery. So come check it out. If you haven't already, it's amazing. But just this last week when I called you and said, hey, you want to hang out? You want to get beer? You said, you know what?
I said, I will only go get beer if you go to Old Mother.
And I said, dude, Old Mother only has beer. And you said, I know, but I heard that they have wine now. And that's true because they do have wine.
Old Mother wine.
Yeah, they have wine. So they have a Capozaldo 2017 Pinot Grigio. They have a Chloe 2021 Rosé. And they have a Tribute 2016 Cabernet. It's delicious. Not only can you get food now in the brewery, you don't have to go outside in the cold and go to a food truck. You can go inside and get the same great experience. Now, on top of that, you can also now get beer, and it's, again, best beer in Frederick. Let's just be honest, right?
Let's be honest.
Come on.
As Drake once said, let's be honest.
Let's be honest. And now you can get wine. So, really, why do you want to go to this? And there's a terrible group of people that book shows in that back room who host a podcast. And so why would you not want to go? Because there's always great live original music. Now, I think we paid all of our bills now for this. Anybody that bought a T-shirt at Emo Night, tag us in it because we love tagging of the T-shirts. Yeah, it looks just like that one.
Can you believe how successful Emo Night was?
I do. We even talked about it in the last episode. And
can you believe Chris started a band without me?
Yes, is what people probably say.
It was called Slink 183.
Slink.
Give us your response to the Emo Night and how everything went. How we
already talked about this. We had this segment before.
Did you play well? Was the band well received?
Of course.
Yeah,
I played great.
What was your favorite song that night? We're going to get out of this segment because we're going to bring Roy Ghim in, and we love Roy, right?
Roy.
We absolutely love Roy.
I just met Roy in September. And
how is that possible?
I wasn't cool.
It wasn't?
No, I wasn't cool.
Oh, you were shitty.
Yeah, well, I mean,
this is what I have to live with.
People know. But it's with Roy, it's like I didn't meet him until the Crumb Radio show, Violet Evergreen, and one more band that I can't remember. They're from Baltimore. Anyway, but they played at FAC.
Clutch.
I wish. And Roy's just such a nice dude. Now, I found out Roy did a lot of really great things with connecting us with Caitlin Makers a little bit, and is really helping Caitlin do some cool things at New Spire Arts when she was doing shows there. And so just a really cool kind of seeing how all of the things are connected. But then I found out you guys used to work together. You guys have done tons of stuff together, and Roy's been doing music in this city longer than, separately than what I've been doing, and it's just so cool.
As far as I'm concerned, Roy deserves all of the credit for any good that has happened in the Frederick music scene for the last 10 to 15 years.
Sure.
And we'll talk about that as we bring him on. He also had a song he wanted to hear, right? As we brought him on, and what was that song? Can you please set up that song?
Yeah, so this song is by a band that he actually started, and they were called High Tiger. But they were a band that he was in when they were in when he was in Portland, Maine. So I guess he's a transplant similar to you. Anyway,
well, what's the name of the song? Is there a trigger in that song? What's the name of the song?
So some animals howl at the moon.
It's not Sir. It's not Sir.
No. It's not.
Well, go.
But some animals also need the moon to survive. Oh. And this is about wolves, and this song the song is called Wolves, and it's by High Tiger. We're excited to bring on Roy Ghim, and this is it.
Bye.
Looks like it's fading out.
Yeah. Well, so we are here.
Fix that cable, please. I love you so much, but
for
the people want to
sake,
see your
man.
face. People want to see your face. Look at that face.
Roy, we have to talk, man. We have to talk.
Most
You, Roy,
Eat that mic, Roy. Eat that mic. He's
you
gonna
really
try to
gotta get
seduce
up
you
on
to
it.
get off the mic, but you got to
That's
eat
true.
it.
That's true.
All right.
So everybody has to understand this. If you're watching on YouTube and you have this video in the palm of your hands, you have to understand that Roy is perhaps the biggest influence in Frederick music for the last 10 years. Is that not true, Roy?
I disagree because I see myself as I don't know what I see myself as. Maybe an observer, a scenester.
I like
I'm-
scenester. Bring it back.
Yeah, I'm denigrating myself, but at the same, I mean, I honestly, I observe, I make notes.
Sure.
Occasionally, I'm gonna say something about it, and I don't know if that's influencing, maybe, but I.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into that, to champion the Frederick music scene and just music in general? Like what? Like you're like, I'm coming here, I'm making a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that
let me
was-
pause you right there. So as we were talking about High Tiger coming into it, so you said you were in a band in Portland, Maine. So how did you get from Portland to here, and then why did all of a sudden you care about Frederick music scene?
Okay, so it's an unsexy story, but
Oh.
simply
Me too.
Yeah, I love Portland, Maine. I do love Frederick, Maryland too. It's my
I love Portland, Maine.
I love
I'll
Portland,
go
Maine,
move
too.
to Portland right now.
Sure.
And there are some quick, ADHD wormhole in another direction. Ashley Cheshire, I think, and there was another guy from one of the guitarists from Dumb Valley.
Oh, Trevor.
Yeah,
Trevor.
Yeah,
Trevor.
They're all up there now.
Yeah,
Really?
Portland,
Trevor's
Maine.
up there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just moved.
Really?
Yeah, but
And
now,
Ashley moved up there? Good for them. That's a great city.
It is. They're in a great city.
We are entirely supportive of Portland, Maine. So.
There is a Portland, Maine, Frederick connection in more ways than one. And I'll tell you about that later. But the simple Twitter version of how I got here
Thank you.
was simply that I had a band with High Tiger. I loved it. And it's a great arts environment. Band. The situation there was it was wild. It was awesome. But my wife was about to graduate from her residency at Maine Medical, and was looking for a permanent job, and she wanted a second child. We had a 1.5-year-old at that point in time. And she had gotten sick with meningitis, and it was really serious. Yeah. And I at that point I was like, we can't be a nuclear family. We've got to be closer to one of the parental units. So we sort of figured out. We just sort of had a discussion of which parental unit drove us the least crazy. Hers in Denver or mine living in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay.
And they barely won. They're both insane, like batshit crazy.
Yes.
Both sets of families,
Sure.
I love them
They're
both.
listening. I hope they're watching.
yes.
But they won out, and so we moved to a town that was close-ish to them.
Healthy distance away.
Yeah, and Frederick actually reminded me of Portland because
For sure.
the brick. The streets, the old field, and then some kind of burgeoning scene. I could tell that there was something happening. The first place I saw was Cafe Nola.
Oh yeah.
And I think maybe one could argue that was peak Cafe Nola at the time, but whatever. I saw something cool happening, and I was like, all right, this is dope.
Yeah.
A little bit better than Hagerstown. We said
Tiny bit.
Yeah.
This is what 2011
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you got around here the same time I got around here.
you got 2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word. Well, now here's the thing. It was a slow. Every place we go to, it's always slow for me to get used to a place because I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I just kept my head low. I taught special education for Frederick County Public Schools. Now, but here's the thing. There was a neighbor, guy named Rob Quinlan. He was in some different bands, but he played bass. And he had just broken up with his band, and I forget what the name of it was at the time, but he invited me to jam with people, the remnants of the band that blew up. or broke up rather.
Sure.
And
was the name of that band the Beatles?
I could find out. It's somewhere buried here. But.
So and what are you playing in these bands?
Well, I played the same thing that I played in High Tiger, which was like either whatever was needed, either keys or guitars or whatever.
So you are a universal musician.
Jack of all trades.
Really?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I never knew that. Literally did you know that, Chris?
No, I didn't even know he played when he sent me the song.
Other than master of my domain. But,
hey, look, good for you. But when it comes to like music, it's like I didn't know you played anything. I always just thought you were just like a connector guy, and then you're like, oh, this is my band. I'm like, dude, this is great. This is cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Believe it or not, I don't know why. I just sort of I felt like. It's weird to say I feel like Mr. Holland from Mr. Holland's Opus because I was like. I really want to devote time and energy to this when I have the time and resource to do it.
Right.
And I wanted just to wait for my kids to sort of like just get my kids up and running and then really devote time and energy to it. So I just sort of all my equipment, all my music instruments, everything, PAs, amplifiers, they're all gathering dust right now as we speak. Which is
but they're waiting their time to jump.
So
yeah, you're biding your time because your kids are what they're 10, 12 now?
10 and 14.
Okay.
So
that's crazy.
They're Tell the people how they can get in touch with you if they need a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, so I kept that. Not a lot of people don't know that I had played in bands.
Yeah.
But I just sort of like kept that.
But it's kind of fun though, where it's like you still, and he gives me a hard time about this all the time because like I also I'm not a multi-instrumentalist, so I can play bass and guitar. Okay. And so
literally just texted me, you're the best bassist in the world. That's what he said, Roy.
I did not say that. And I'm definitely not. I can play 4 chords really well. But the idea though, it's like he always gives me a hard time of like, oh, hey, like you play music, but like you're not actively trying to be in a band. You're just like doing this other connecting stuff. And that's how I've always known you. So it's like when you were kind of like waiting in the darkness after like, hey, I was in this band, kind of waiting for my kids to get to a point where you can kind of send them off and then maybe like dust off the dust.
Yeah.
Do you still get that high of when you're connecting different things and being a part of other things in Frederick over the last 12 years?
And it's a strange... I don't know how to describe this fully other than if I'm not playing music, then the next best thing is like seeing other people really get into and just get that... you get that...
high.
Yeah. Of seeing people just getting together communally and partaking in this. It's an alternate version of church. It's weird to say. As a former religious person, I mean, that,
I was going to say, are you religious now?
No,
or? No.
Okay.
So this is sort of that connection. That's that spirituality that allows you to connect.
Yeah.
In that way. That is otherworldly. I mean, that sounds absurd. That sounds stupid. But I truly believe in those things like that. It just takes everything to a second level for you.
Sure.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, through that, I don't know what we call it. We were an unnamed band in Frederick. Me, Evan,
the Beatles,
and Jason Varndor. He actually contributed a few pieces to the FNP as a freelancer.
Yeah.
About it'll come to me.
I believe you.
What's the biggest band
in Frederick?
The biggest band in Frederick.
This is the 90s.
Oh, in the 2000s.
Miss Lonely Heart.
No. I mean, they sometimes practice here.
God,
Clutch. Yeah.
There you go.
He wrote
about
Clutch.
A joke about that the last episode.
Yeah. He read our pre-show meeting.
So, anyway, like when we all practice at this guy Evan's house, and since then all those guys have moved on from Frederick, and so that's why we don't play together.
Yeah,
and we never played live. We started recording some stuff. And there were some fun demos, and there was the chance that maybe this could turn into something. Sure. And then everybody moved away. But before Evan moved away, he was the first to move to Wisconsin to work for Trek bicycles.
Yeah,
cool.
He had on his fridge this. It almost looked like a hand-drawn flyer about a show happening at the Bike Doctor, it was.
I was hoping you were going to get into this.
Yeah, the Evens, which was Ian McKay's band, and I'm like, the fuck, like, they're playing. What? This can't be real. Like I looked at this, $5 playing this whatever that Saturday coming up. I mean, that was coming up in like 3 or 4 days. I'm like, I tore it off his fridge. I was like, this can't be real. And he was like, yeah, it's happening. I'm like, so I went, but I was almost still in disbelief. Like this has got to be a joke. And there he was. Him and his wife played as a duo. There was 200 people packed in. We all paid our $5. And that show blew me away.
Yeah.
And it's not a venue.
No.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the idea of like with Frederick too, and we're gonna get into this Subversive here in a second, but it's like the awesome thing about Frederick is like when there's a will, I think it always kind of finds a way, and Frederick always has, due to lack of general interest, I think, of like really trying to have a soul music venue that really wants to try to do something constant. I mean, we're lucky with Old Mother where we get to do that now, but the idea is like having a consistent thing. It's like we have a revolving door of venues, right? Like Area 31 is gone. The list kind of goes on from there.
Guido's, all that.
Guido's, rest in peace. It's now painted and people are revolting. People are rioting in the streets about it right now. But it's like, there's always people that are trying to find ways to do things. There's the Sleigh Ground, right? I think that's still happening, like the backyard shows, and so it's like
shows are still happening.
Yeah, so it's like, and there was another group of bands here that had a house that were doing shows out on Patrick Street. So anyway, literally just up the street. But it's cool when you were talking about like the bike shop. It's like even 10 years ago, they were still doing really cool things in Frederick in places that didn't normally do stuff,
right.
And that's
alternative venues, for lack of a better term.
Special.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that really was like, I think it clued me into the potential for Frederick. The potential has always been there.
So what I think is the most obvious example of potential is this thing right here.
Show the fans.
If you can see this right here. Roy, you were on the ground floor, from what I understand, if not the originator, not
the originator,
but you were somebody who was there that helped make this happen. Now, for those who don't know, because we are 2-3 years removed from
since the pandemic, it was 2019. I think it was the last one.
Okay, so it's 2023. Can we say we'll just say 3 then? We'll say 3 years. This was the Zine in town, and this was the coolest thing happening. This really was, man. And I know, because I still talk to Lauren to this day. I love Lauren, and I know Lauren helped a little bit, even though I don't think she wanted people to know, but we're putting that out there right now.
Pay us off.
She was
take it out.
She was in background.
but yeah, like you guys did so many cool things with the Zine in town. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like to come up with Subversive? By the way, again, Subversive, and what happened since then? Like, are you guys? Is anything coming soon?
And I want to just preface one more thing too for people that maybe don't know. Like, can you explain why a zine is an effective mode of communication?
Well, really, you gave him 3 more fucking questions. God damn it, Chris.
He's got a list. He's fine.
Let me go with yours, and then I will go with yours.
I've always been second best.
No. It's just like it's the most immediate.
There we go. That's anything I get.
If I can, maybe it'd be. Oh yeah. I'd feel more. It would jog my memory.
Sure.
Your question was about
why a zine and what is a zine?
Yeah. So, the zine was usually Xeroxed, like really lo-fi, analog. It was popular in the late 70s, maybe more so in the 80s, and with a lot of punk zines. Mm-hmm. that really was the alternative press, because the a mainstream newspaper wouldn't cover punk rock per se, or any underground music.
Yeah.
And so this was the lifeline.
The thing on this, though, not to interrupt you, but Frederick for a long time wouldn't even cover local music at all. Mm-hmm. And there's something, and that's why, again, that's so much love to Lauren, because when she came in, she changed that. Yeah. She really did change that. And you guys kind of extended on that, right?
Absolutely. But and props to you guys. You, Cassandra with Bucket of Rock, you with the playlist. Yeah. Huge. I can't, people in the know that helped propel it to another level as well.
Frederick playlist was cool.
Yeah.
So was Bucket of Rock, though, too. Yeah. All love to Cassandra, yeah.
But to answer your question as to the effectiveness, too, I think in the internet era, I think it is like LPs, like cassettes coming back. It is a tangible thing, because digital, it's useful because it's so fast. But I think things, with attention spans, you know how it is. Something is so, 1 week ago on the internet,
Right.
it's almost like it was like too long ago.
Yeah.
And everything is so instantaneous and fast.
Yeah.
You do kind of somehow need a way to slow down, take something in analog, and have something tangible.
Sure.
And that's, I think, maybe why it's just a throwback, partly, but it's not just nostalgia. I think there is a use to having something tangible in your hand.
Sure,
Totally.
and that goes into his question, which is like, okay, so what's next? Are you still seeing that there's a desire for tangible goods in a post-pandemic and highly digital, fast world?
Oh, definitely. But and here's, I just found out about maybe the sister podcast of you guys.
Which one?
Yes.
The Nicole Ringels and Spencer.
They're doing incredible work.
Yeah.
Not my magnum opus.
Yes.
This is not my magnum
This
opus.
is not my magnum
Yep.
opus.
Yep.
On the
Yeah.
Could Be Better Podcast network, wherever you like and subscribe
This
to
is our
podcasts.
favorite guest ever who's ever even said anything about the network.
Ever.
He did.
Yeah,
The
but
Met
yeah,
Network, right?
Yeah.
The
So it's
network.
the network. Yeah.
Yeah. I dig it. I dig it.
So anyway, so this is not my magnum opus.
Her and Spencer's vision, but I think maybe it's Nicole was the one that talked to me about this, was the fact that they're going to have a companion zine that's going to accompany these episodes. And I'm like, wow, that's mind-blowing. That's
Well,
mind-blowing.
hey, man, when we took those meetings, how much I got on a table
Yes, you did.
at
Attaboy.
Attaboy. Yeah, that was
In excitement?
And yeah, do that.
I'm
Please
excited.
do that.
I could
Yeah.
stand on a table upon
There we
hearing
go.
that.
Man,
You guys can
do you
dance.
know Spencer and Nicole at
Oh,
all?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
they will get it done. They are so good.
I'm going to fast
So
forward ahead, and I will answer your question about the zine. But
It's
fast
only
forward
been an hour.
knowing them, we're fast forwarding to April of 2022, and Nicole, who was working at the Frederick Arts Council at the time, was trying to help put on the very first show at their new space on 2nd Street.
God bless her.
And we got, I helped to, I wasn't instrumental in this, but I just sort
That's
of
not
helped.
what I hear, and that's fine. But yes, it was Grace Van Der Kuhn. It was
Doser.
Oh, Grace.
and then
Alien Subculture.
Alien Subculture.
Wait
yeah,
a second,
yeah.
though. Let's talk about Grace for just one second, because Motorcycle had the opportunity to play a lot of shows with Grace at one point. That is the best 3-piece band I've seen in the DMV, period. And I understand maybe there was a 3-piece fest. I don't know, but
It wasn't.
There wasn't.
They still owe me money.
I just love that band. I love they do that. I love that band, and I know you do too, right?
Yeah.
They were on NPR, weren't they?
Yeah. Bob Boylan has dropped their name many times.
So good.
I mean, people in the DMV know, and Bob knows.
Yeah.
But and the first time I saw them was in Frederick before they blew up.
Right, yeah.
They played Guido's.
With us.
That's right.
That was with us. That was with the motorcycle thing. Yeah. They were
man.
so good.
I couldn't. Everybody's
That was
blown
like
away.
that was like the show I walked away from. Like, we should never play music again. We'll never be as
No, what
good
are you
as
ta-
they are.
Double Motorcycles and Grace Von der Kuhn was like a 1-2. Like
Yeah.
it was
Well,
brilliant.
and doing those things in shows in the back of Guido's was also just special.
Oh,
It just felt different. You walk back and it's a totally different place. Like I saw my first hard drugs experience there. Some dude was like just doing coke. I was like, hell yeah. So anyway, but speaking of doing
Diet,
coke,
or was it?
what? Huh?
Was it diet or was it? Anyway, we have.
and
No,
and I want to
He's getting your
honor
question.
your question.
Oh, okay.
And your question, remind me again, was
So his question was, are you doing? Is there more coming?
no. That it
So
had
this
a
is
heartbreak.
vintage.
Yeah, that's it. This is it. Now, and I can't get too much into details other than the short story is Max Dietrich, who is the drummer for
Right.
Doser
Gloop.
and Gloop, yeah. And they're going to be playing
An alien subculture, right?
That's right. Well, no, I don't know if he is an alien subculture, but Max and his wife Abby are playing. I think.
Yes.
Well,
So
by the time this broadcast comes out, they've already played Cafe Nola. But anyway,
Oh, really? What's the name of the project?
before
What's the
we-
name of the project?
It's called Slots, and
Yeah.
they're actually playing at Old Mother Brewing Company.
Hey, now.
I'm pulling up the date on Friday, April 14th with Although, Slot, and Cosmic Halitosis. Again, 6:30 p.m. And this is the first people that
With
they've heard of it.
Cosmic too? God,
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna be a
awesome.
fucking amazing
That's awesome.
show.
And
go check that
it's
out.
a killer 3-piece band called Although from Frederick, Maryland. It's
Although.
awesome.
Oh,
So
my
good.
God.
Anyway, sorry
That's
to
great.
continue. So Max.
yeah. So because he moved to Baltimore with Abby, they were a big part of Subversive, and,
Sure.
and I this is. it would be wrong, absolutely wrong to say this is my project. It wasn't.
Sure.
It was a communal effort. And to answer your first question about what the scene was like to get this together, I mean, in short, it was. I don't exactly know. I can't exactly remember it, but I think there was the feeling that there was a need to have an alternative media about what was happening in the underground.
Yeah.
Sure. And so there was just this random collection of people that showed up, and we, it was fantastic to be able to work with all these people and put this weird thing out. It was a weird conglomeration of talking about Frederick politics in a way that was real.
Sure.
The underground music scene and do it in a humorous way,
right.
and art as well, because there was a lot of burgeoning underground art that's
Right.
unrecognized that should be heralded.
Sure. And how many issues? How many issues did you do?
Issues, I want to say.
I mean, I guess best
I
guess.
have so
Roy.
many
9?
issues.
10, 11?
10. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is really something that should be said into a camera that anybody who's ever going to listen, and then we're going to get into our next segment, which is a rapid fire question to you. So you better be on your game. But I will say this, for the last at least 10 years, if not 15 years, the driving force of Frederick music has been this guy. And I'm looking into the camera when I say that, because I don't know that a lot of people know that.
I did not.
Well, fuck you.
I know.
You should have known. That's this, like Roy, you got to understand how important this man is right now. And you're an amazing family man. I remember the first time we got drinks at JoJo's, actually. I don't know if you remember that. And you told me all about your family. You told me all about your wife and your kids and all this
Soccer
stuff.
coaching.
Yes, and soccer coaching, which, by the way, U.S. needs to do something with that head coaching.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
That's just
and
so
you were
stupid.
a soccer coach too.
Yeah, I was too.
Like
Soccer coaches unite.
So I have all the respect and love in the world for this man right here, and it is an honor for him to be sitting in my bed. It's not my bedroom. It's the Could Be Better
Studios. Get it straight.
But please
kind.
send your love to this man right here. So now we have a, and I'm gonna cue the music.
Cue the music.
And Chris is gonna start.
We do
5 rapid fire questions, right?
So this is our special tease with special teas. Just kidding. It's a special tea with special teas segment where we talk about our lovely season 2 sponsor.
He just spilled all of the beer.
That's fine. It was on his stuff or my stuff.
Here, no, I'll get it.
That's fine. It's fine.
Keep going.
So anyway, so Special Teas is our sponsor for season 2. So again, so you can reach out to special-teas. It's fine, dude. It's fine. Trust me, we have a cleaning person come in. Brett's really great. So at this point, our season 2 sponsor is Special Teas, but you can find them at season. Dude, you're killing me. I'm dying here.
What am I supposed to do?
It's doing okay. We've never. This is actually.
all good.
This is the
What
first.
family men have to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's all good.
So special-teas.com.
You still got your beer left.
Special-teas.com is our season 2 sponsor. If you use the promo code could
If
be
you
better.
are a mess like special, no, sorry.
If you use the promo code could be better, or you shoot them an email and say that could be better sent you get 10% off your first order from Special Teas. And again, that is special-teas.com. Promo code could be better sent you, and you'll get 10% off your first order. So again, this is our rapid fire question. So Colin, you're going to start this rapid fire
That's not
segment.
how we agreed. I said you would start, but I will
know,
start.
it's
If there's one band in the world you could book in Frederick, Maryland, who would that band be?
Dead or alive?
Yep, I was going to say that too.
Black Moth Super Rainbow, which I almost did. So that's why I
don't even know who that is.
You don't know who? Oh, you got to look. Yeah.
Okay.
I will turn you on to Black Moth
That's
Super
fine.
Rainbow.
Okay.
You
Very
already
niche.
turned me on.
Okay, Black Monster. If there,
Oh, okay. Go
no,
ahead.
that's fine.
No,
Is
go ahead.
me?
No.
No.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
So if you could see one thing that Frederick desperately needs, what is it?
A proper mid-sized venue.
Mid-size. So
Yeah,
like 500
smaller than the Weinberg. So Weinberg is what, 1,200, 1,100?
You're at
capacity.
1,100.
Yeah, 1,100 at Weinberg.
Mm-hmm.
And bigger than Cafe Nola or Old Mother's great, but something bigger than that. Just we need something that it's not quite 930 club size, but something that resembles that.
930 is what, 3,000 though, right?
I think
No, it's
the
smaller.
2,000.
Yeah, it's 2,500
Yeah.
or so. He's gonna look it up because that's what this is.
It is
What is it? What is it?
legal standing. It's 1980. That's funny. It says the legal standing capacity in 1980 when it opened was 199 people.
The original
So
930.
it's about
Original.
2,000. now.
2,000
Yeah,
for
about
the
2,000,
version
yeah.
2.0
Right,
of
yeah.
930 Club
Mhm.
is that. Yeah.
Yep.
I saw the very first 930 Club.
Did
show.
you really see that?
Smashing Pumpkins,
You were
1995.
on the fucking show because you're so fucking cool, man.
No. I just was lucky.
How was that show?
Mind blowing. But that
Really?
was peak Smashing Pumpkins,
Yeah.
and it's not as.
It was definitely Ava Adore, right? It wasn't.
Yeah. So, well, yeah.
Do you remember which album were they on? Were they on Melancholy?
It was
and
Melancholy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know. My humble opinion, the band sort of took a nosedive from there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
1,200 people.
1,200. Okay.
Really?
So I mean, I think something scaled similarly. With a balcony. I like that balcony part.
Yeah.
Very
If
good.
Frederick needs something like that, and with a proper, all the proper things that a club should have,
All
like
ages,
loading,
beer,
all ages,
easy access.
yes, easy
accessible,
access,
Yeah.
and van or truck load in, that sort of thing. Which the New Spire Arts was a ambitious attempt, but
Sure.
there was some flaws in the design in which they didn't take
Have
that into-
parking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it is tough where it's like technically 930 doesn't have real parking for anybody either,
Right.
but they do have that back spot for buses. And it's
Right.
like, okay, but that came later. You
Right,
know, so,
right.
I don't know.
the
Anyway.
infrastructure is there.
Yeah,
we don't have that.
No.
So, if I can tag along that, if somehow, IMP were to work with that Frederick venue
Sure.
Well, they
to
are.
overcome the 60-mile radius rule, which I can get. It's very weedy, in the weeds kind of a rule, which I can talk about later. But if that can overcome. If we can do that, then we can book some really amazing national touring bands with local bands opening for them. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that we're allowed to talk about those things with IMP, but we will say thumbs up to that. If there are three bands that you've seen in Frederick that you love, who are they?
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
That's why he's the best in the business.
Heavy Lights for sure.
Okay.
Old Indian.
Okay, that was quick. Now you're talking about I don't know, but you got two right off the dome.
Oh God, the third. I'm gonna have to say Cheshire.
Okay.
That's fine. Were you expecting Double Motorcycle?
Double Motorcycle
comes in 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5.
If you give it 5, Double Motorcycle 4.
I have not talked to Ashley in a while, and just this is in a side. Is she doing okay? And you said that they're doing.
I haven't talked to her directly, but my understanding is she's doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Outrageously
shout out to
talented. Outrageously talented. Go listen to Cheshire if you can.
We're glad you're. There was a Frederick one take at one point. It was really great.
Oh, there was. That was the first ever.
It was
Frederick
really good.
One take. Yeah, it was very good. Chris, you're up.
So, we know you do music. We know you do bands. We know you do stuff. We know you have. We know you have at least 2 kids. We know you have a wife. We know you
the
do
music
soccer.
used to.
That's right. And then you do something with soccer. What's something that you do that you wish more people knew that you did?
Oh. People in Frederick don't know. Another hat that I wore.
That's right. Do the
that
switch.
Right, you probably spilled something there.
Is I had run a Korean soccer blog that had some.
New York Times, baby.
Yeah, I wrote for the New York Times.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
guy
that's right.
worked for the New York Times. Nobody
at that.
knows that.
2
but-
articles, and then my editor got
Hey.
sacked.
That's 3 more than I ever wrote. So
That's fair.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you did a Korean soccer blog.
Yeah, and through that, I was able to write for a number of different publications.
Awesome.
Beyond that, again, the New York Times was a stroke of luck,
Or
stroke,
Loke.
Stroke.
A stroke.
A loke.
Yeah, that's right.
Been drinking too much of that.
It's all
again,
on my
the
floor now. It's in the carpet.
Hey, listen, the beer is brought to you in part by our sponsors, Old Mother Brewing Company. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. Yes. But in short, I pitched to the editor at the time about some weird things that were happening with Korean soccer. Like they were playing a closed-door friendly with Syria. Syria had just started the civil war. And so they were an international pariah at that point. And there was something fishy about that. So I got to write about that. And then the second thing I got to write was a team in Cardiff, Wales, that was about to be promoted to the Premier League. And it had a Korean on it that was sought after by a lot of different clubs around Europe. And the second division club in Wales was able to grab him as sort of a anticipation of this a push to get into the Premier League.
Sure. Speaking of moving to the Premier League, and then you're coming up with your final question. Did you watch Welcome to Wrexham?
I didn't, but I heard about that. It's
incredible.
wild.
Yeah, it's a really cool story, and it's.
You would recommend?
I would recommend because it's friend of the show, Ron Reynolds, and Rob. And then no, he's not a friend of the show.
Okay.
No, I'm sure he might sponsor us though. Who knows? He's into terrible businesses. Mint Mobile, hello. But so Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, they essentially buy that club, and then they raise it up, and it goes through that first year of as they're trying to build the thing, and it's so cool. Both of them are so funny. They're super sarcastic. It's a good chemistry, and it's really enjoyable. So I would recommend.
It's on my to-do list.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question. Colin, bring it home.
You got one dinner in Frederick. Where is it?
Oh, man.
Now, can you say one meal? Like if
Sure,
you're like if you're
one
gonna
meal.
if you're gonna do
that's
like
fine. That's fine. If you want to go to Waffle House, that's fine.
Sure.
You guys are killing me because you're putting me on the spot here. Like every other restaurant is going to...
I know.
They'll spit on my food.
That's right.
Well, it was either that question or who's better, double motorcycle or Silent Mountains.
Whoever has that one guy.
These are impossible questions. Impossible questions.
No, where do you go? You got one meal. You got to eat it. What do you do?
The bibimbap at H Mart.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
People don't know that H Mart's that good, and
Yeah.
it is. And I love
It's a hidden. They have those hidden eateries,
so good.
Korean
It's so
eateries
good.
there. Yeah.
I have been. Goddamn, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to do that. I've been
Yeah.
resisting this forever because
It's so good.
To
But they
me,
have everything.
H Mart means like I gotta go be around a ton of people, and I'm like I gotta go pick out this and I gotta go do that. It's like a salad bar in some aspects, and I don't like that at all.
Sure.
I just want.
It's a cacophony.
Right, and I'm not good in public, as all of you know, including
right.
Donnie, wherever he is.
Rest in
but
peace.
But rest in peace. What the fuck was that? Now that you say that, I'm gonna have to try that.
Yes, because and there's two versions. So be aware. You want the real OG version, and the OG version is the one with the traditional Korean ancient stone bowl.
Okay.
And they superheat it.
Okay.
It's like radiating heat, like even 15 minutes after you finish this. It's just nuclear hot. You cannot touch this stone bowl. Or I actually got burned just the other day with a bibimbap in New York City.
Yeah.
And this thing will also make the rice that's underneath it. It'll cook it to such a scorching degree that it'll make it crispy. And
I like that. I like that.
And so
I
the
like
one
that.
in Frederick does that.
yeah.
Hell yeah. So hey, next lunch date. Let's maybe they'll sponsor us instead
There's
of
a
Pizza
lot
Blitz.
of people there, isn't there? There's
No,
always
no,
a lot
no,
of
no,
people.
Sometimes
there.
no.
I don't.
No.
Okay,
Well,
like between noon and whatever.
No. We'll do lunch. It'll be fine.
Honestly, I don't know how the eateries stay in business because that's the part that
That's fair.
I think struggles. I mean, I don't know because they're still in business, but
Yeah.
there's every time I go, there's hardly anybody in the eatery part.
Same. I think every time I've gone to, there's been nobody there, so it'll be fine.
I have a really hard time with a lot of people
Hey.
in a space.
It'll be fine.
So-
You and I will go and we'll eat, and then if
It's
we have
spread
to,
out.
we'll
If
go,
you
we'll
don't protect me, Roy, if you don't protect
Okay.
me,
he's coming after you.
I'll be your bodyguard.
Yeah, and speaking of coming after you, where can people find your stuff? Where can people contact you?
That's right.
Like, are you going to give out your cell phone number? Do you have a Tumblr?
And
Like,
after that, set up this final song. Well,
also,
not really.
he doesn't need to know
I
that.
know.
It's okay. But yeah,
To find me,
Yeah.
it's I feel like I have multiple personality disorder.
Sure.
So if you want to see what I do with the Korean soccer end of things, because I still pontificate about it, microblogging wise, on what's called Taeguk Warriors, TAEGUC _ Warriors.
It'll be in the show notes for people that are driving or listening or watching or doing different things. It'll all be in the show notes.
Yeah, that's Twitter.
Okay.
I've got a Mastodon account. That's because
welcome.
Yeah, because you had to.
Elon might blow the whole damn thing up. So just in case, it's similar. Yeah, just find Taeguk Warriors. And there's a whole bunch of more of those signs. But if you, I'm the only one there, I think, with Taeguk Warrior of some sort.
Sweet.
So if you just simply put that in, you'll find me on Mastodon.
Okay. So is this final song?
Wait.
And finally, Instagram, the Western Machines, all one word.
And that's your Instagram.
Yeah, and there was an older blog that no longer exists that I was pontificating about the Frederick arts, music, and indie cinema scene.
Okay.
And it had a lot of my archived Frederick News Post freelance work that I did.
Well, at least you have that archive, because somebody else from the Frederick playlist that doesn't have his shit anymore.
Mine's is gone too.
So no, it is.
I might try to resurrect that, but I'll put it in
if you can do it, try. Lauren, can you help a brother out? Come on, he's writing these cool op-ed pieces. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so Roy, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you. For
all these links are going to be in the show notes. Again, maybe at this point, Frederick's best kept secret. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your heart for music. I appreciate your heart for community. And
is this High Tiger? It's
Sir Lando.
It's Sir Luriando.
And I'm so glad you got to come on. I'm so glad people got to know that you exist and know the parts you got to play. You've been doing stuff for way longer than I was aware, and you sent a bunch of notes that we didn't get into at all. But it was all really good for me now to know. It's like, hey, for people that get to hear you on this show, I'm just excited that people know you exist, because it's important.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Well, let me go ahead.
No, finish, wrap up, and then I'll do the bootleg.
Well, that's what I was going to do.
So we do a super cool thing now at shows at Old Mother, where we record the sets that are happening. Yeah, again, this podcast is brought to you in part by Old Mother Brewing Company. Shout out, thank you for the beers and everything. But where one of our sound engineers will record the sets of the bands that are playing, and we get to put it up on YouTube later. So this is from a show that happened on January 14th.
That you can listen to at the end of this podcast. This song will be on there before we get to that. But what was the band again?
The band is called Sir Lando. Thank you for playing. I had a great time.
It was an amazing show. I believe
you had a great time.
I did.
You were up front singing all the words.
The one thing that I really do have to say, and I say this all the time when I'm around you, Roy, I'll say it again. You are the backbone and the influence of this music scene in Frederick, Maryland. And if anybody disagrees with that, they can email me at chrisperry.com. But
it's not even an email address.
Well, I tried. The thing is you've done so much work, and you've been so incredible. When the Frederick playlist stuff started, I'm trying to not talk about Frederick playlist ever again. But if I'm going to have to do it, then I will say that
it was a thing.
But you were a big part of that, and everything you do is a big part of that. Before we get to this last song, if there's anything you could say about the Frederick music scene that people would want to know, I'm sure everybody would love to hear it, because you're so influential and you're such a great person with all of it. And I really mean that. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not at all. I'm not fucking with you. I hate him. I love you. Okay, I don't hate him. But the thing is, please, look into the camera and tell people about Frederick music, because Frederick music is real.
Frederick music not only is real, I mean, it is, I think, completely, it so punches above its weight. And I can just simply, to keep this short,
please.
There is so much talent. There is way more talent than people would ever guess to realize. And I think the potential is always there. And I think the variable for the scene to really blow up, or to have another wave, is really having the infrastructure of proper venues, or maybe again, like I said, the 60-mile radius rule, which I'll probably talk about. off
right.
Sure.
We can talk
off
about
the show
all day.
I'm maybe freelancing an article in the future. This year for the Frederick News Post about that. There's a lot of details in the weeds about that, but when people understand what that rule does and how it impacts and hinders having proper touring bands come to Frederick, if there is a solution to it, though. So if creative solutions can be found in all these different things, the infrastructure, and there's progress been made. Like I think they passed the liquor law to loosen it up so that it could be better.
The Frederick County Liquor Board, thank you, Ashley and Don, have done some really cool things in the last couple of years of making things a lot better and accessible and easier for people that are wanting to do some things. So,
and there's still progress to be made with that, but it's way better than it was in 2011.
My God.
I see progress. I think that's the challenge, and I looked forward to seeing what is coming down the pike.
Yeah.
These things are slow. Everything is slow. You have to build.
Yeah.
That's what it is. There is a line between being too slow and giving up and continuing to believe. And Chris knows that, and Roy knows that too. You have never stopped believing. So if there is a heartbeat to this music scene, that's you, my man. That's you.
Roy, thank you for coming on. Don't stop. And
we're
excited to see what's next. We're excited for you to be part of stuff. Here's Sir Orlando from Old Mother Brewing Company.
So far away, you don't know what to say. I don't know where to hide. I don't know where I've been. I never find. I've been tired all the time. I never find. I've been tired all the time.
Podcast is allegedly heard in 25 different countries around the world and definitely still not recorded in a bedroom.
Yeah, okay. Still, check out our worldwide website, www.couldbebettermeh.com, for links to our social media and our fancy brand new revamped YouTube channel that now has actual video.
And if you don't like what you see, well, neither do we. But if you want to hear from smarter, better, more educated and cultured people, please check out the new podcasts. This is Not My Magnum Opus and The Weekly with Kiki on our brand new Could Be Better podcast network. And don't hesitate to leave us or them, actually, probably just them, a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, Chris, did I miss anything?
Yeah, man, we do a lot of shows. Whatever.
Well, can I find them on our website?
I'm Chris Perry.
And I'm Colin McGuire, and we are out of time. So for now, remember, everybody, this always could be better.